Welcome back to the 2016-2017 NBA preview. Today we are covering the 20th ranked team, the Milwaukee Bucks. My name is Josh, your Enviers, and with me today is my co-host.
How's it going, guys? It's the king of the fourth quarter. Welcome back to the NBA preview.
So, if you guys remember, last year I had the Milwaukee Bucks at number 10. At number 10. A lot of people called me out on it. Last season, nothing really spectacular happened with this Bucks team. Free agent pickup and Greg Monroe didn't really perform as well as he should have. And Michael Carter-Williams proved that he can't replace Brandon Knight and he couldn't lead this Bucks team as that starting point guard.
Yeah, the season just didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. There were some bright spots though. Jabari Parker coming back from his big injury, and he actually played pretty well in his first season. Chris Middleton had a really good year. So along with the bad things, there were some good. Ultimately, they didn't make the playoffs though.
A very, very young team. Instead of being the top 10 best team this year, they're kind of in the middle of the pack, and some may say they could be lower. You feel that way as well, right?
Yeah, I do. Just because I don't see it. I just don't see it. I look at their roster. I watched them play a little bit last year, and I just don't see how they can be back into the playoffs, especially not this year.
I definitely don't see this Bucks being in the playoffs this year. First and foremost, they got to find out their point guard situation, because right now, as you guys will see in the future, their point guard isn't really a starting caliber point guard, and I know Giannis is going to be playing a lot of point, but that doesn't mean he's going to be guarding point guards. He's not going to be a traditional point guard for this team, and I feel like the media, especially like casual 2K players or like NBA watchers, when they see Giannis Antetokounmpo, they think, oh, he's the point guard. He's the 6'11", 6'10" point guard. But in reality, that's not how it's going to work. He's going to be the primary ball handler coming up. Matthew Dellavedova or Michael Carter-Williams or their point guard will still be on the court, and they'll be there guarding the other point guard. It's just that Giannis is going to be doing a lot more with the ball. That doesn't necessarily make him a point guard.
Point forward.
A point forward. A LeBron James-esque player.
Right.
So let's take a look at some of the offseason moves that this Milwaukee Bucks team made in the offseason. One of them we already said, Matthew Dellavedova and Mirza Teletovic, both acquired in the offseason. They lost Jared Bayless and Grievous Vasquez, who was hurt the majority of the season, along with losing OJ Mayo because he could not stay off that weed, apparently.
Must be tough.
Jeff Thon Maker at number 10 and Malcolm Brogdon at number 36.
Offseason doesn't seem too spectacular. I do like the Mirza Teletovic signing because now they have a forward that can stretch the floor. Don't know if he's going to be projected to be in the starting lineup, but at least they have some shooting at that forward position. The main question is the Thon Maker drafting. I think they're going back to when they drafted Giannis. I think they drafted him, and they definitely drafted him in the lottery. People were like, who's that? Why are they going all out? And it worked out. It worked out for them. Giannis seems to be a nice up-and-coming player, and I think they're trying to do that again with Thon Maker. Now, will it happen? I guess only time will tell. We really don't know if he's a young player or an old player. I don't think we never will know, but I guess only time will tell if he's actually going to turn out to be worth the pick that they got him.
I'm looking at the draft. I can't really, at this point, I know the season hasn't started yet, and we haven't been able to see the rookies, but what player could have been taken at number 10 instead of Thon Maker?
And that's what a lot of people argue. A lot of people argue that there was not much to go on, so why not go
try to strike a home run, right?
Yeah, home run or a strikeout. It's one or the other, and they're hoping it's a home run.
So, although it may seem questionable, it's like you don't know what the season can hold, and you never know with these young NBA players coming into the NBA.
I didn't expect them to make the playoffs a couple years ago, and then once I get high on them, they miss it completely. So anything can happen.
Exactly. They definitely burned me last year. A lot of people projected this team to, after what they did with the Bulls, they gave the Bulls a good fight. Mm-hmm. They were projected to go not deep into the playoffs, but make it back to the playoffs and prove themselves. And they did not do that.
A lot of people were really excited about the Greg Monroe signing, and that just kind of fell apart. It got to the point in the season where he wasn't even starting, and they brought him in to be one of their key guys in their team, and he was coming off the bench. So it was really tough for Jason Kidd to kind of figure out the right rotation for the team. They were fun to watch later in the season, though. Once they started to put Giannis at that point guard position, they were definitely fun to watch. But that didn't really equal wins.
Point forward, by the way.
Point forward. You're right.
And when they also beat Golden State Warriors, they snapped the long streak, 34-1, right?
Yeah, they did. They definitely did.
One of the most memorable situations with the Bucks last season, because last year was not that memorable, to say the least. So moving on to the rotation, the projected rotation for this Milwaukee Bucks. Matthew Dellavedova, their starting point guard. It's pretty interesting to say the least. Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jabari Parker, and Greg Monroe, while their bench looks like Michael Carter-Williams, Rashad Vaughn, Mirza Teletovic, Thon Maker, and John Henson.
They paid Miles Plumlee some big-time money this offseason. And I was so surprised at that because they gave him what I would consider like starter money, and they have starter money in John Henson, and both of those players are like below average centers or average centers. It didn't make much sense to me to give them that type of money, but it made sense to someone because they did it.
I feel like it's a Greg Monroe trade waiting to happen. That's why.
Oh man, the rumors are definitely here. They've been rumors, so maybe it is. And I don't know if John Henson or Miles Plumlee are better options, but if Greg Monroe does get traded, they have people locked up for sure.
Better defensive options. Maybe not on the offensive end. Moving on to the projections for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Last year, they went 33-49. An underperformed Milwaukee Bucks team, like we said. I had them last year as a top 10 team in the NBA. They crushed my hopes and dreams. And over/under, where do you see this Milwaukee Bucks team being this year?
I'm gonna say they stay the same. They didn't make any significant moves that I think puts them back into the playoffs. Again, anything can happen, but I just don't see this team making another leap. Matthew Dellavedova as a starting point guard, I don't think that makes them a playoff team. So I'm going to say they stay where they are at, maybe a game or two over, but nothing that's going to make them leap.
Okay. I'm going to say I have high hopes for this Milwaukee Bucks team, to say the least.
Not again.
What happened?
No.
Oh, okay. We'll scratch that out. My bad. I'm going to say over, but not by much. I still see them winning 30 to 40 games. 40 is to say a lot. At max, they'll probably win like 39 games, but they'll be in the 30 range. They're a definitely improved team. Giannis is going to have a lot of duties this year, and hopefully he's able to ball out. They did lose, those lingering point guards in Jared Bayless and Grievous Vasquez, who weren't really doing much for the team last year. So I do see this team being better than they were last year and having more wins as well. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed our projections for this Milwaukee Bucks team. Do we have them too high? Do we have them too low? Let us know in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree with us? And if you do, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and share it on any social media as well. It really helps us grow, helps the series grow as well. Spent a lot of hours and effort into this series, so it would be great to see the support come back through it. All of our social medias are in the description below for you guys to check out as well. If you want to be nah, never mind. We'll scratch the joke. Any last words?
No, thank you guys so much for watching.
With that said, we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.